Sometimes, just sometimes, fiction is not enough to explain a reality that goes beyond any imaginable limit. Barrabas, the Crow. This is my story. Let's say my name is Barrabas. You will also know me as the Crow. Barrabas, it is the name they gave me when I was a chill. It must be because I was already pointing out paths from a young age. The Crow, a tremendously intelligent and agile bird, with a great capacity to develop and adapt to any type of habitat, taking advantage of the environment that surrounds it and adapting to any place to establish its nest. I was born in a small Spanish town in a humble and large family, despite which I had a very happy childhood full of freedom. When I was very young, I decided to travel in search of adventures. Very soon I realized that the established norms and rules were not made for me. I did not like being under anyone's orders. I wanted to fly alone, find my way and create my destiny. At 20 years OD, without training or business experience and without financial resources, I created my first company, and it has been like this for 40 years, creating more than 100 businesses. I identify myself as a visionary capable of seeing opportunity where others do not see them. I have launched businesses that have generated dozens of jobs and invoiced hundreds of millions of euros. I'm a bad manager and administrator. I feel that the day-to-day of business is not for me. I am very bored with tax, labor, and accounting issues, and my heart breaks every time I have to pay taxes to politicians. Inept and corrupt politicians who maintain unfair and arbitrary systems for their exclusive benefit. I am passionate about entrepreneurship, creating new businesses from a simple idea. I like to do it in a practical, simple, direct way, without theories, great business plans, or cheap speeches from speakers, preachers, messiahs, shamans, evangelists, and other similar media species. This is my academic training. 0 degrees from Harvard, Stanford, or Massachusetts universities. 0 master at ESEDE Business School, Deusto Business School, ESIC Business. 0 awards for excellence and best businessman of the year. Languages spoken, Spanish. This is my other non-academic training. 40 years of experience as an independent businessman. 100 companies created and managed personally. 5 times completely ruined. 8 convictions for economic and corporate crimes. 10 years in search and capture. I am an active member of different humanist organizations and movements. I am also personally involved with several NGO. I work in several programs with Oxfam, Intermon, UNICEF, Down Foundation, Manos Unidas, Arcido Foundation in several countries: Spain, Nicaragua, Mexico, Colombia. I consider myself a self-made survivor, a born fighter who thrives in adversity, who rarely does the right thing, but will always do what is necessary without asking anyone for permission or forgiveness. That I am looking for. My crimes are prescribed. I am a free man. I have returned to Spain. I want to make my story known, tell my truth, and transmit a message that serves as an experience and life learning to whoever wants to listen to it. I want people to know my way of understanding life, of living, of doing business, to tell the experiences and situations experienced throughout all these years. That people know how this society works, which is nothing more than a great circus. A great circus in which we live, completely deceived by the de facto powers that direct it, with us being simple spectators, necessary and essential assistants to pay for the show and continue maintaining the circus. I will talk about issues related to big business and the corruption of politicians, governments, judges, large companies, public figures, and the media that participate and collaborate. Through my story, I want to challenge established norms, break stereotypes, disturb thinking, shake consciences, lift spirits, awaken souls, make people feel alive and dance a little rock and roll, questioning principles and values, norms and rules that society imposes on us, so that the winners are always the same. Barrabas distrusts the Spanish justice system that sentenced him and his entire family in a completely unjust and arbitrary manner, forcing him to escape from prison and flee Spain. That justice system that has pursued him relentlessly for 10 years. The Spanish judicial system is nothing more than a great farce, a flawed system at the service of the political interests of the day, made up of corrupt judges willing to do anything to keep their jobs, even if that means giving up fundamental principles and values which they swore to defend as independence, integrity, honesty, and ethics. Barrabas is a firm defender and active member of several humanist movements, a current that places the human being as the center of the universe, highlighting his capacity for thought, his freedom, and his personal development. Individuals have the ability to grow and reach their full potential through education, knowledge, and the promotion of arts and sciences, placing the person as the central axis above governments, beliefs, and religions. The voice of Barrabas, also known as El Cuervo, stands out for being critical, incisive, ironic, and distrustful of the values and principles of contemporary society. Through Barrabas' personal experiences, a unique and peculiar perspective of society is revealed, influenced by his experiences outside the law and his relationships with powerful entities worldwide. This voice challenges convention, urges us to question power structures, and reflects deep disappointment with the current state of things. Despite the moral ambiguity that his story raises, Barrabas the Raven demonstrates the resilience of the human spirit and the extent to which people are willing to fight and resist for what they believe. His narrative does not seek to agree with his methods, but to understand his message and question the obvious, inviting the audience to think beyond the surface and reflect on social structures. Remembering the importance of challenging the status quo and the power of society's perspective, Barrabas presents a critical narrative that will intertwine the values of the humanist movement with the symbology of Plato's cave, serving as an analytical framework to unravel the illusions and realities that make up today's society.